Hey everyone, it's Michelle Vina-Baltsas checking in on this Monday afternoon. Someone had reached out to me privately and has given me permission to talk about this issue anonymously with you. And I really felt it was important after we had talked through some of this. We discussed some very, very important things that she had experienced by taking a boot camp type class. I'm assuming at a gym, in a gym type setting, that she's taking a boot camp 4 days a week, and the instructor of that class had asked the members to log their food and to send the logs to this instructor. And looking off to the side here because I wrote a quote. And the reason why this woman believes that this trainer asked them to do that was to ensure that they were getting the right balance of carbs, proteins, and fats. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear people start to talk about the ratio of proteins, fats, and carbs, I want to scream and run away. Because when I hear talk like that, all I hear is diet, diet, diet. And that is not obviously what we are into with intuitive eating. And I want to say that while I don't know who this trainer is, and their intent may have been to ensure that they are getting the optimal effects of the class in terms of probably weight loss, possibly shape and reducing of size, muscles, things like that, or increasing muscles, being able to see muscle mass, things like that. There could have been a host of reasons why the instructor wanted to do this. And the intention of this video is not to badmouth the trainer. It's simply to alert you to the fact that we need to really be careful with things like this. And what I love is that this woman intuitively knew that this was probably not in alignment with intuitive eating, which I love that she recognized that right off the bat and was really just private messaging me to confirm. And she was right on the money. Her intuitiveness told her this is not kosher and this is not kosher for intuitive eating. So it's very, very important that we are careful. I go to a gym. I love going to the gym. I do take classes. And so I think that a gym environment can be managed in terms of intuitive eating. But when you're taking like a class like this, and again, I don't know the whole story about the class, but when an instructor or anyone else for that matter is asking you to do something that doesn't feel good for you, you have a right to say, that doesn't work for me. That's not in alignment with my views about eating and about body image. And I choose not to do that. So advocate. What I told this woman was to always advocate for yourself, and also to remember what your core values are. If that goes against what you believe, like logging your food for the purposes of possibly weight loss, possibly seeing the best results, and that doesn't feel good to you, you know what? It wouldn't feel good to me either, because although I do go to a gym, my intention is not to look ripped or cut or anything like that. It's to move in a way that makes my body feel good. If I get ripped and cut from doing any of that stuff, okay, but that's not my intention in doing it. I'm doing it to help relieve stress, to help manage my blood pressure and other things in terms of my health, and to have fun, and to build my stamina, and things like that to help improve my coordination. These are all things that are not related to weight or the way that I look. So we need to be very, very careful with whom we associate. And if we're choosing to be in a gym environment or any type of environment where there is potential for people to be more weight focused, more diet focused, we can stay there, but we need to make the choice and advocate for ourselves whenever somebody is crossing over that line and trying to introduce us to or pollute us with diet type mentality, thoughts, or behaviors. In addition to that, I don't know, again, anything about this trainer, but, if anyone is asking you to log your food or anything like that, make sure that they are a trained professional who is properly trained and knows their way around nutrition. So while this trainer may have been, again, I don't know their story, if you're not sure, you have a right to ask. You absolutely have a right to ask, why somebody is asking you to do that. But again, eating intuitively, is something that we are capable of doing on our own. If you need assistance with that, you can always seek, in terms of nutrition advice, you can always seek a professional. You can do that by either speaking to your doctor, if your doctor is on board with intuitive eating and health at every size. You can speak with me. You can hire a registered dietitian. You can hire a nutrition therapist. There are many professionals out there who are well trained. Again, make sure that they are aligned with intuitive eating and health at every size, because that is the difference, because not everyone is, and you do need to ask. Nutrition is a very complex science, and you need to make sure that the person is properly trained in nutrition and also is properly trained in intuitive eating and health at every size, because if they are not, they will be talking about the ratio of proteins, carbs, and fats and things like that, which take us more away from the intuitive piece and more down the diet path. And if you have a health condition that needs to be managed, this is even more of a reason to speak to a professional who is trained in proper nutrition. That may or may not be a trainer. It likely is not. You would want to take it to the next level and again, go to a registered dietitian, a nurse practitioner who's aligned with this, a coach, someone like that. So I will leave you with that. But the bottom line here is, if you are getting a feeling that something is not aligned with intuitive eating, it's probably not. You're not being paranoid. That is your body saying to you, this doesn't feel right. This feels like a diet to me. You have a right to advocate for yourself and say no, or ask a lot of questions and then say no or say yes. But you have permission to do that. And that's the story. So I hope that this message receives you well, and that it is helpful for you in some way. I would love to know if you've had any experiences, perhaps at a gym or anywhere else, where somebody was kind of like wanting to know what your ratios of fats, carbs, and proteins were, blah, 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 and how you handled it. Did you cave under the pressure and do it, or did you run for the hills like I would have done? Or did you really stand up and say, you know what, this doesn't feel right to me and this is not aligned with me? Whatever you did, it's okay. I'm just curious to see if we can have a little bit of a dialogue about this, because I suspect that this probably happens a lot. And I also suspect that a lot of people are probably really uncomfortable saying no, because you're in a class with this person and you're entrusting some of your physical activity to them, and it can be a little bit awkward. So I'm curious. Let me know if you've ever experienced anything similar to this at a gym or anywhere else. I'd love to hear from you, and I thank this person for sharing her story with me. I appreciate it. I appreciate her graciousness that she allowed me to share it with you, and I suspect this will be helpful for you. So please let me know if it was, and we'll talk again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.